Warning, F-bombs are armed and may be dropped. Actually, will be dropped. Okay. There are some people that I support that don't support me. Why? It all comes down to propriety and what you should and should not be doing. Fictional group based on a real group. There's a couple of guys who go around testing guns. They shoot them, they beat them up, they shot one until it literally died just to see what it would do. They don't support me at all. They won't even acknowledge I exist. Yeah, they won't acknowledge I exist because they shouldn't. That's not what they do. What they do is the machinery. They've never made a public statement that I'm aware of on issues of policy, either for or against. I would guess probably against if they ever do make one, but that hasn't happened yet. And that's appropriate. They do the machinery, not the policy, and they really do need to focus on the machinery and stay away from the policy issues. There's another one that we have some points where we come really close together. She's a entertainment reviewer, and I'd rather not get too much deeper than that. She's an entertainment reviewer. She's made a couple of comments about entertainment-related issues. Certain entertainers who've been targeted for either for harassment or public embarrassment, depending on whether or not the people are actually guilty of what was accused. She's definitely made her opinion known of what she believes, and that's where the two of us kind of come real close, right? She made a statement against, well, in support of the accused because of policy issues that are burning their way through society right now. Policy issues that I happen to support. We come real close together there. But what she does has nothing to do with mandatory carry or not. We have that real close point of approach on the policy issues. That's it. All right? Now, I do go over into that her policy issue area. And I can support her there too, which is the only reason I really do. The entertainment field that she's interested in isn't a big deal for me at 43 years old. When I was in my teens and early 20s, it was. But I'm 43 now. I have a 21-year-old stepdaughter. I have a 17-year-old son. All right. What do you want me to say? This is more of what my stepdaughter and my son, both of my boys, and my daughter should be interested in. But when I'm talking about the public policy issues that she talks about, I'm free to go in there all I want. She can't really cross that line, though, because she can't cross into my policy issues without going into all of my policy issues. She can't support me at all. She can barely even acknowledge that I exist without getting herself in trouble for something she should be not doing. All right, and as far as I know, she doesn't support my overall cause, and that's quite appropriate. Within myself, I even have some of this problem. I am, effectively speaking, mandatory carry, but I'm also effectively speaking pod home. When I am mandatory carry, I can talk about pod home all I want. I can talk about any fucking thing I want. You know, I could talk about giant robots and spaceships and God and my horrible taste in clothing and my bad hair, right? And video cameras that suck. But as 𝘮𝘮𝘠𝘮, I can only talk about 𝘮𝘮𝘠. I can't talk about mandatory carry. I can't talk, well, I could talk about my horrible taste in clothing as 𝘮𝘮𝘠, but that's about it. I could talk about the group from Dallas, Oregon, yes, I said Oregon, that does public assistance food program. I won't mention them here because right now I am mandatory carry. But as 𝘮𝘮𝘠, I could talk about the food program. I could talk about other housing related issues. I can't talk about mandatory carry. I can't talk about whether or not I support Donnie. I don't like the guy, but I do support him. I can't talk about anything that's not really related because 𝘮𝘮𝘠 is very specific. It's about homeless abatement. As you can see here, as mandatory carry, I was talking about 𝘮𝘮𝘠. That's kind of the way it works with everybody else too. Now there's some people that can talk about me and they say bad things about me. They're allowed to have their opinion. One in particular is a gun channel that has privately told me that I should shut the hell up. He's welcome to his opinion. If he ever says that publicly, I'll address it publicly. And then I'll name his name. But he's also a Second Amendment supporter. That's literally what his business is. He can talk about me all he wants. Literally, that's the thing that he does, is talk about that public policy issue. There's a few people that have talked about me as public policy issues. One of my many nicknames is mandatory carry FA word for log that I'm not allowed to say because the algorithm will nail me right to the cross. I got that nickname from Shannon Watts herself. Hey, thanks for that. Took me 3 days to calm down, but you know what? When I did, it was funny. You're right, honey. She can talk about me all she wants because she's a public policy issue group. Well, she represents a public policy issue group. That's literally her job. The entertainment reviewer, public policy is not her issue. She can't talk about me. Or at least she can't say very much. There's a very conservative YouTuber who has actually mentioned my name twice politely, but that's it. Oh, mandatory carry, you're there. Wow. Hi. And that's about it. Now, as to a little part of this rant that this was all started with, really. Most of the people that support gun rights, but don't like my policy position, don't really understand. And I would love to help clarify the matter. As I said to one, I'll take you all on at once. I'm looking forward to it. I want to do this thing. Come on. Come at me. Bring your worst. Hostile interview, vindictives, ad homs, I don't care. I would really, really love to talk to you. And make it a hostile interview. I don't care. I'm used to it. Every interview has been a hostile interview, including the ones I've made with myself. Bring them all on. I want you to come after me. Please. And I promise I'll be a good boy. I won't call you bad words. I may drop a few F-bombs, but sorry. That's it. That's as bad as I'm going to get. So the rest of you that shouldn't be crossing those lines, please don't. Even if you want to, please don't. I get it. I understand. You need to be that detached. And you're actually helping me by staying detached. And to everyone, unless you're fundamentally disabused, keep calm and mandatory carry on.